Hey, how's it going? Craziest Monkey here. Figured I had a little time. I'm 3D printing. I don't know if that comes across. I know it's a little echoey down here. I've been setting up a new space for video stuff. Figured I'd try it out while I had the moment. Wanted to briefly go over the car and maybe just do an actual introduction since I haven't. Also wanted to take this time. First off, I want to thank Bryce. He sent me this car a while ago. It came in. It's in great shape. I never got around to thanking him. Wanted to thank him publicly. He's an awesome builder and a cool dude, and it's cool to have the big and the mini of this one now. So I just haven't gotten around to running it. It's been a busy year for a lot of stuff, but I wanted to say that between Bryce, Phil, and a couple other YouTubers that do some building, I really appreciate everybody sharing what they do. I like to do things a little different, so it's nice to at least be inspired to actually do it, because that's what, to me, this hobby's about. Speaking of which, it's a little apart now. I don't have the body because I need to redo that, and I'm in a different building. This is my MF-01X custom. I've got a big motor in the back, big gears in the back, skinny tires up front. I'm reprinting a bulkhead. I printed one out of polycarbonate, and for some reason it was a little more brittle this time around. So to avoid any further issues with that, I just printed it in the same red ABS that I've got for everything else. Since it looks good and takes a little more abuse there for that. But yeah, this video is coming in after my crash at 89 miles an hour, which doesn't count because I didn't put extra tape on the GPS here. So I'm rebuilding. We finally may have a bigger break in the rain tomorrow. It says only 24%. I'm hoping the roads are dry enough to get back out there. I probably won't go driving to the same spot I did for the 89 miles an hour. That was almost an hour away. To just go crash and then not have anything, and that's time wasted that I don't really have here at the end of the competition. During the crash, stuff broke. I did seem to get a little bit of... I don't have a screwdriver with me. I did seem to get a little crack in the rear chassis area around the gearbox, so I'm glad I had the rest of this on here to protect it. Yeah, doesn't want to come off. The diffuser area here is meant to take any impacts on the side, and as you saw in the video, it did a whole bunch of tumbling and spinning and everything else. I lost part of it. So this is all ABS with a diffuser part there. It's got a little hole because there's a peg that goes up for a body post mount, and that goes through the body to help make sure that if I do get any additional downforce, it's putting it where I want it to be, and to kind of tie in the body and chassis together a little better in case of crashes, because as you see, I crash a lot. Only other thing I had was the other bulkhead here, other front stay for the suspension broke, and then one of these control arms broke here. So I've already replaced those. I would have the car done totally right now, but who doesn't like a video and explanation of all the weird stuff, since I'm always talking out there. I know I generally sound kind of sarcastic when I'm being super positive, but I've been a homeschool dad, so it's kind of ingrained in me to be that way. I don't mean to sound sarcastic. I would certainly take it as sarcastic about 10 years ago if you told me I'd be like this, but here we are. Any other features here that anybody might be interested in might be the rear stay here, where I lowered the mounting point for this here by a bit. The suspension doesn't move a whole lot, so I don't lose. When it goes down, it actually gets right. so it gets flatter. I'm not using really wide tires like I have on some of my builds. On my fronts, I'm actually just using cutoffs. These aren't even real wheels. These are just discs that I'm using with some foam rubber on them. They seem to be holding up. They spin true after everything they've been through, so I'll probably apply that to some of the other parts and builds I'm working on. Yeah, I cut stuff off here along the side of the body so I could tuck the batteries in a little bit better. I put in a brace. I could have done that a little better, but it was kind of adding on stuff, and all considering it didn't seem to make a big difference unless I was going to make a lot of changes, so I left it at that. Yeah, just shimming. I got the bulkhead here in the front so I could do direct steer. I like it. It comes back to center with a strong enough servo. I'm not using a servo saver because I have really skinny tires that I'm getting really little contact with in the front, and I have all this here on the side to protect. I showed a picture. I've got a lot of little bolts in here on the bottom. I did not go countersink this time. As I noticed last year, whenever I had a really big wreck, wherever I had it countersunk was where it started cracking. So I wanted to avoid that. I just have everything flat as possible. A bunch of weights here to try to balance it out according to the little scales I have. I know when it's moving, it's doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So we'll see if I can get a better run out of it. That last crash was a 3S. I have 3S, I can set up 4S. I can go 6S, but I don't know if I'm exactly geared for that. I can eke out a 4S path. 2S is gonna put me in the 80s or 90s, but I'm trying to catch Bryce and Michi and everybody who's hitting 190 plus. Right now, my official is 76, and I've got an 89 that doesn't count. I need bigger numbers. I know Steve down there, he's pushing for 90, and those rockets are gonna give him a fun boost. Yeah, so this has been a fun challenge. This has been exciting. I wanted to get this video out before the end, just in case I get mopey for not being able to run in the rain. But it's all in good fun. It's been a pleasure getting on the chat with everybody, going through stuff. I know some of my tips are a little bit weird, but that's because I build differently. I've got, my gearbox is 32P. I figured out how to do that, so that's what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything really the same as anybody else. Even the body has been modified for aero. Now I need to modify it for reinforcing, making it stronger, get it going. I will continue to push the car until more breaks after the competition. While doing that, I think I'll solder up and finish and use a Mamba Monster 2 that I have, because I have 2 extra. So I'll just use that one instead of the X8S, so I can save that for the drag racing stuff. I ordered a rotor for a motor I toasted, and that one needs the big amps. This one does not. Amps max out around 177 on the spec sheet. My last pass put me at 140 amps with 4,000 RPM to go at 89 miles an hour before it crashed. So yeah, I'm hoping to have a bigger show out. I'll do more. I used to be a photography nerd, so I have part of this setup. I'll expand it, I think, and not have to do the square, but it lets me hide things when I share stuff. Yeah, that's it. I'm having fun. I'm feeling the pressure here against the end of the competition and the weather and just putting everything out. And yeah, you know, regular life goes on while we're doing all this, so there's always something, but it's fun to be able to have an outlet to build off whatever I can. And yeah, I'll start doing more videos. I'll start switching things around. I know I always say that, but to me it really is building. I like just making stuff. I've been working on parts for drag cars. Those guys are waiting for some of my ideas that I've been spitballing, and I've had a couple prototypes for, but I gotta finish it up. I got a metal lathe I gotta figure out how to use, and little by little get all this stuff in here onto a table somewhere, or onto a road. But anyway, that's it for today. Again, thank you to Bryce for the Mini JRXT. It looks great with the full JRXT. I appreciate you sending it out. I appreciate receiving it and getting it. It is number 66, so that's a little daunting. Maybe I'll have to turn it into a speedrun car or something. I don't know. But, you know, we all have our own things. Anyway, hope everybody else's runs and builds and projects and fun is coming along out there just fine. You guys take it easy. Craziest monkey out.